Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Rockwood number 624-BRS. This is a door viewer with cover is what this is. So a 624 is a combination of this viewer, and I'll give you what this part number is in a moment. But then you add the privacy cover over it. This portion here. Okay. Let's take some basic dimensional properties, and then we'll talk about this material in some further detail. So this is going to be the typical 160 degree view, which is the smallest that you're going to get in a viewer. This is going to work on doors 1 3/8 down to 2 inch. And when I thread that all the way out, that'll get us out to our 2 inch. Probably, well, you won't be able to get it on anything thicker because you're using this privacy viewer that's here. This is going to be just a matter of, obviously, this component going through the unit so that it looks like that. And privacy covers are very common and have been for several years. You've heard of instances of skullduggery where people have tampered with viewers, turning them around, even connecting cameras through the viewer to surreptitiously. Anyway, you get the point. Record people without their knowledge, and that really allows covering that up pretty well. The body diameter of this is going to be 1/2 inch. Okay. Now, why do you need this? Let's take a look at it right now. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, so the word we were looking for is surreptitiously. Surreptitiously. You're looking at this because you need to add this. Very common application is going to be hotel rooms, no question. That's where you're really going to see these. Occasionally, residential applications, this is going to a client who's going to be using them in a hospitality application. That cover does a really good job at simply eliminating the view that you might have on, so I've put that together incorrectly. The view that you might have from the outside peeking in through the unit. And it will help mask shadow is what it'll really do a pretty good job at. Okay, obviously that's how that's supposed to be installed. Okay, right there. Now this is the common size, or the standard size, meaning the 160 degree field of view requires a 1/2 inch, and if you're looking for this model, it's very likely that you're dealing with hospitality or a residential application. Generally though, in commercial applications, you'll see a larger diameter field of view, not the 160 degree I generally see in residential applications. 190 would be greater. A very important component to this to mention is that it's approved for use on fire-rated doors. You know what we'll do? I have some photographs that will focus on that label. We'll show you exactly what that looks like. And again, the 624 part number literally means this viewer, including this privacy cover, is what that is. The BRS in the part number means that the perimeter of this, the bezel, is in a polished brass finish. Obviously, you can do this in other finishes as well. They can do a dark finish like an oil rub bronze. They can do a chrome finish as well. Back to the fire rating. So the bottom line is, if you're installing a door viewer in a fire rated door, regardless of the rating, 3 hour, 90 minute, 60 minute, 45 minute, there is a 30 minute, 20 minute doors. All of the components installed on that assembly must be approved for use on a fire door by either being, well, always being listed, meaning the testing laboratory has on file proof that acknowledges that piece of equipment is permissible for use on a fire door. Or it has to be, in addition to listed, labeled as well, meaning there's visual evidence. Almost all hardware must carry a label. So everything's listed, but then almost all hardware has to, in addition to being listed, have a label. Door viewers fall under that requirement. Hinges generally do not. Non-spring hinges don't. Spring hinges do. All other hardware that I can think of is obligated to have that stamp or some label on it as well. If you're doing a fire door assembly inspection, it would be considered standard practice to have the viewer removed so that you can inspect to see that there is a label on the hardware. Would a non-fire rated door viewer that requires a 1/2-inch hole cause a fire door assembly to otherwise fail in a fire event? Don't know. It's not been tested that way. So there you go. Let's switch to the screen view and let's take a closer look at the supporting information. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, here's the item that we are looking at. Let's take a look at the images that we have. There's the box that it comes in. There's the packaging, removed from the packaging. Just showing different views, the glass or the lens side, the inside, the privacy viewer itself. Then we have those images of the label, UL and ULC listed. Because it has this adhesive label, it is therefore labeled. If you were to call the testing laboratory, which in this case is Underwriters Laboratory, Northbrook, Illinois, and you were to give them this R13709, they would be able to pull up paperwork that says, yep, that's a door viewer. There's the rest of it. Okay. Now, extended description information. 160-degree door viewer with cover. That's your door range, brass, polished finish, 1/2-inch hole. This is out of the Rockwood book. Standard, 60-inch is going to be what you're going to drill for this at a height from the floor. Your mileage may vary. 60-inch may not work for you if it's a residential application. Everyone in the home might be 6 foot plus. You might put it up higher. You might also have everyone that's 5.5 foot or shorter. You might put it a little bit shorter down as well. You might have grandma and the children living together. In that case, you'll see 2 viewers installed in a door. That's always a telltale sign that an elderly family member moved in who happens to be shorter. If you're doing a handicap compliant installation, that's the finished floor to the center line of the door viewer that is approved, permissible, compatible with the requirements of the Americans with Disabilities Act that was put into law in the very early 1990s, and then enforcement of that phased through the first half of the 90s certainly, but throughout the decade. There is and I'll say one thing about that. For us personally, when it came to door levers, the change was literally overnight. On a Monday, everybody asked for knobs. On Tuesday, the day after Bush, the president, signed it, everyone was asking for levers. Product brochure, let's take a look at that document. Let's take a look at that document. All right, here's the table where it comes from. This is literally going to be a 620 viewer with a 620 VC. That becomes a 624. That's what it looks like. Antique bronze, polished brass, chrome, satin nickel. That antique would be the dark one. 624 features a privacy cover to prevent visual intrusion from outside of the room. Okay, that's your document there. Now, let's take a look at Rockwood's other door viewers, because they do have other door viewers, and the best way to find those would be the link below this video here to the manufacturer's page. When we click on that, we can pull up not only all of the Rockwood products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, but also a link to the manufacturer's full catalog. Let's click on the full catalog, And when that comes up, we are going to do a find function for 624. And we're going to get to that part of the 158-page catalog where we're going to be in the door viewer section. And sure enough, here are some other ones. 190 degree. If you wanted a 190 degree version with the viewer, which is going to take a 9/16 hole, you want the 626. They also have a heavy duty version with a pin or a rivet in these models, and they are 190 degree as well for a 9/16 hole, and that door range would get you at a 627. My opinion, if it is hospitality or work that's subject to public use, I would be using the heavy duty version. It would be quite easy to unintentionally pull that item off and easily destroy the hardware. In my opinion, that heavy duty version is indeed substantially more resistant to just typical high volume use, which I wouldn't really say that the viewer would have high volume use in a hospitality application, but it's going to get used is the bottom line. Okay. Now, the rest of this catalog is pretty intriguing. It goes through all things trim and auxiliary hardware from Rockwood, a company that's been in the trim and auxiliary hardware for probably 70 years. And I know that because I have a catalog from 1957. I just don't have it listed here at this time. By the time you're seeing this video, there will likely be, right, it's not here yet. Right in this area, look for a catalog from 1957. You'll probably see it there. Neat, just to see what Rockwood was literally making mid-20th century. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. One component I suppose I'll add in closing, Rockwood also has a very comprehensive offering of door pulls. On that manufacturer's page, there's a link called Architectural Door Pulls. It's 100+ pages of all things door pull related, naturally. However, it's not just your trim and auxiliary version of D-shaped pulls, offset pulls, push and pull bar sets. This would be more of a architecturally pleasant approach. Like I said, 100+ pages. I think of it more of an idea book than a catalog because it shows so many different options when it comes to pulls. Architectural base materials, brass, bronze, aluminum, stainless. They can do leather wrapped, wood, rubber wrapped, all kinds of options. Any questions on the 624 and a BRS finish or any other Rockwood product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.